Oh, so sorry. I forgot to turn my mains on. My apologies. Taco Smurfs, Do It Pruitt, thank you very much for pointing that out. I know better. I know better. It was funny. I was in Do It Pruitt's stream earlier today, and as I came in, he was talking about tech issues. And I was like, oh, I know about tech issues. So sorry. So many of my apologies going out to people who were hoping to watch this. But so what happens here is that I am a dork. And that explains a lot. So that song that you just failed to hear was called Visions of Ecstasy. And I thought I did pretty well on it. But you'll never know. Yeah, it does, man. It's not the first time it's happened, which is why I should know better. But yeah, it's part of the gig right there, baby. That's live. That's whether you're in person live or you're on online live. Live. And the funny thing is, when I'm standing back here in the kind of performance area, I can't quite read the chat. Taco Smurfs, it's your first day on Live Space. So excited to finally be part of this beta. Yeah, it is super cool. And like I said, I was on Do It Pruitt stream earlier today. And as he pointed out, in the earliest stages, like 6-8 months ago of the beta, it was pretty much just the Mad Poet and Do It Pruitt. That was like every once in a while there would be like a smattering of other, but it was pretty much just us on the beta. So it is really, really awesome to see more people coming in, and I'm just so hopeful for the Live Space possibilities of what's going to happen with it. I think it's going to be a really solid platform, and I'm very hopeful about where it could go. So welcome to the community, and thanks for coming in to check things out. ISC says, going to try to be in stream somewhere all the time. Excellent. Get to know as many people, absolutely, and because I have a guitar, you'll be here a lot. Well, I'll tell you what, let's have you reserve your opinion on that until you actually hear me play. because I think it's possible that you'll be able to hear what I do, and hopefully I think it looked okay. But yeah. That's another thing. Do It Pruitt was talking about Kick. I have not tried Kick yet. My current multi-streaming software doesn't get to Kick, but I actually want to give a thanks to Do It Pruitt. He gave me some really good advice today, and I'm going to try out a different way of multi-streaming, and that will put me on some different platforms, and that should help out a lot. So I want to try Kick. I also want to get on YouNow. .com, which I'm not sure, they actually use a faster than light protocol rather than RTMP, so right now it doesn't work. I don't know if it will on the other stuff. But anyway, yeah, there's so many good possibilities coming up. So again, thank you very much everyone for watching, and wherever you're tuning in from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, DLive, Trovo, Nono, Nemo, Picardo, Africa, Live Space, wherever you're coming in from, thank you very much for being here. Okay, so Kick is a gambling company gone pro streamer, but I don't think they understand what it costs to be a platform for streamers. Yeah, servers are expensive. So yeah, I've heard of this Kick thing. I went on their platform and just kind of looked at it, and it kind of looks like a bit of a Twitch copy, which I mean, so does DLive, Trovo. I mean, they're a very similar kind of a thing, but we'll see. Nonetheless, let's do this thing where I play guitar and you can hear me. So right now we are playing my 59th album. It is called Hard Six Live. And this next song is called The Night of the Vampire's Forlorn Revolution. Oh, now that's another thing I haven't done for a while, because I'm being a dork. Okay, now I can hit my play button and it should actually play. Let's do this. Taco Smurf says, I have been a streamer since Beam. Poor Mixer days. I've seen a lot. I don't trust Kick. Can't explain it. Too many herbs. Yeah, okay. That's, sometimes you just got to trust your gut. That's just the truth right there. Sometimes you just got to trust your gut. And I'm not familiar with Beam. So I've been streaming for about 3 years. And I haven't had a ton of success with it. I really enjoy it because I love performing, and I enjoy doing the setup and everything. So I'm not familiar with that, but yeah, I mean, there's just, if you've been around and you don't have a reason to trust it right now, then yeah, don't. I'm pretty strong on that one. So there you go. Now you've actually heard some of my music. Hopefully, you can make a little better judgment call on that. I'm gonna keep this thing going here. See, we got some people coming in on Nemo.tv, as we often do. That's kind of my largest streaming platform. And I shared the stream on my gaming channel and Facebook page also. Well, thank you very much. I love it that people are willing to, do the community thing. I'm actually not great at doing the community thing, which is a large part of why I've never been a super successful streamer. Is I'm just really introverted, so I don't do much. I've been trying to particularly on LiveSpace, because it is so new and it's a small community right now. I've been trying to engage a little more, but I really have to push myself to do that. So let's keep some music going here. This next one is in D minor. If you want to play along on your violins or your piccolos or your baritone saxophones, D minor. This is called The Tides of Sorrow. Taco Smurf says, I will be lurking with you playing in the house while I'm multitasking and dealing with the dogs. Be in and out of chat. Absolutely. You're welcome to be in and out. Feel free to do your thing. And that's, I've actually come across multiple times, I've come across forums, about streaming and stuff. And some people actually get offended if there's someone watching their stream but not chatting. And I'm like, hey, if you want to watch or just listen, or if you want to chat or not chat, that's fine. Dude, do your thing. Yeah, I've never understood that kind of mindset about it. So, yeah. We're going to slow it down here a little bit. This is, I'm thinking of a different song. I don't know what's going to go on with this. Looks like it's in A minor. I feel like there might be some key changes. I have no idea what's going on. I'm going to play this and see what happens. This piece is called A Myth of Silence. It has been quite a long while since I've played this album. I have no idea what's coming up at any point. Oh, yes, now I know what's coming up. All right, yeah. It's time to kick it up again here. This song kind of pumps pretty hard. Hope you enjoyed as much as I do. This is a fun one to play. This piece is called "The Circus of the Serpent." Alrighty then. We are moving right on along. Now this next piece is kind of a good story behind the title. And as I've said many times, that my song titles, almost across the board, are completely meaningless. My song titles don't mean anything. There are a few exceptions that the song titles actually have some sort of significance. Hey, Steve is in from Live Space. Good to see you. Thanks very much for coming in. So this one, when people ask me, how do I come up with so many song titles? Because I've published more than 600 songs. The main place that I get my song titles is from writing prompts, sometimes called story starters. And these are just ideas that someone writes down and says, like, hey, here's an idea to write your short story or your book or your poem about or whatever. So I'll just go through Pinterest on my stupid little smarty phone and look up writing prompts. And the very first writing prompt I ever saw, I don't remember it word for word, but it said something about, there's a machine has been developed that allows us to record our dreams, and it turns out we were forgetting them for a reason. And that's like, that's a colorful prompt there, man. You can write some really cool stories out of that. And that turned into this song title that I didn't use for a very long time. So this was the first song title I came up with from a story prompt, but I didn't use it until my 59th album. This is called Why Do You Forget Your Dreams? Moving on along. I'm going to keep the pace up here a little bit. So this song title actually does not come from a writing prompt. This is one that I got out of one of my own poems. And I'm like, hey, that'd make a good song title. There's a little section of a poem. Hey, that would make a good little song title there. But this one does keep the pace up. Pretty good and heavy. This is called And You Laugh Quietly. drink of water before I make this next announcement. Stretch a little bit. Because you got to be ready for this. So, hey, we got Trovo. Kindle Lover 360 says this is nice. Thank you very much for coming in. I almost never get anyone coming in on Trovo. That's super cool. That's a very cool little platform. Little platform, the same size as all the other platforms. You know, whatever size your monitor is. But nonetheless, thank you very much for coming in. It's great to see people in new areas. For those who are new to the stream, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. And this is kind of what we do. And if you're just coming in now, we are playing my 59th album. It's titled Hard Six. This next song is called A Face in the Window. And this is a good time to come into the stream because, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. Let's do this. G sharp minor. We got Mandolin Vale coming in from Facebook, giving the metal horns. Thanks for coming in very much. Greatly appreciated. Everybody out there, wherever you're coming in from, Trovo, D Live, Facebook, the other Facebook, YouTube, Live Space, Picardo, Twitch, Nono Live, Nemo TV, Vaughn, Africa, Picardo, wherever you're coming in from, thank you very much for being here. Greatly appreciated. You know what's awesome? Guitars. Yeah, it's true. Ask anybody. And here's the way you know the guitars are awesome. Is you can ask literally anybody. And if they say yes, well then you know the guitars are awesome. And if they say no, they're lying. So that's just science right there. That is science. Pure science. So that last song was in G sharp minor. We're gonna move everything down one fret. This next one's in G minor. This is called The Countdown. And Kindle Lover 360 from Trovo asks, can you play that part of John Mayer, I Don't Trust Myself, from 633? Sounds hard to do. You know, I'm not familiar with that, actually. I like John Mayer's music. He's a player. He's great. I haven't actually listened in a lot of depth to most of his work. Like every time I hear John Mayer, I'm like, this guy's smoking hot. But yeah, I really don't know a lot of his work, so I'm not sure what that particular piece is. I'll have to look that up. Let me actually make a note of that. And I will look that up and see what I think about it. But right now, I'm totally unfamiliar with the piece, so I really don't have an opinion as to the level of difficulty of that. He definitely plays some very complex stuff. He's a great player, and one thing about John Mayer, I would say, and again, I want to point out here that because I haven't listened to him a lot, my opinion is somewhat limited, but the live version, cool. I will check that. John Mayer is really good at choosing his notes and chords to be very appropriate for what he does, and rock blues kind of stuff. Mostly blues. Kind of rocking in there. And a very, very good note selection. He's not playing notes just to play. Like a lot of times when I'm playing just this shredding stuff, the note selection may not always be necessarily optimum for what it could be. John Mayer is really good at picking out every note to be placed exactly where it should be. So, hats off to the guy. And, when I see great guitar players out there, it's always just, for me, it's like, hey, tip of the hat, because I know that they have just really worked at it. So, yeah, I'll have to check that out. And cool. All right, what do we got going on? So we got 2 songs left on this album, and then I'm going to switch over, I think, to the album Spider, which I think is my 62nd. I think that's what's coming next. I've got it loaded up. We'll see after 2 more songs what comes up. But we're nearing the end of this album. And this song here, this is kind of a cool thing. If there are any guitar players out there, so I'm in standard tuning, which in hard rock is almost an act of rebellion these days. In standard tuning, when you play an E flat minor, which I'm about to do, you end up, the only open string you have available is the 2nd string, which in normal circumstances we would refer to as the B string because it's tuned to a B. But when you're in E flat minor, from a very technical perspective of music theory, it's no longer a B string, it's technically a C flat string. Even though the note is exactly the same, we would have to call it a C flat instead of a B just because of the key signature on this. And I love stuff like that. I could totally geek out on music theory for hours and hours. If anyone ever has music theory questions, feel free to shoot them out in the chat wherever you're. I think I can't see the chat from Africa TV, and I feel like there might be one other that I can't. I can't see the chat from VK, unfortunately. Those 2 I cannot see the chat in. Anywhere else, feel free to hit me with questions. And I see we got some people watching on LiveSpace, which is a beta testing. It's a live streaming platform that's in beta testing right now. So I'd like to give a big welcome to all of the newest people on LiveSpace. They just sent out a recent round of invites to the closed beta, and we got some new people in there. And it's shaping up to be such a cool platform. I'm really looking forward to seeing where all that goes. So nonetheless, let's get into this song. This is called There's Something Behind You. And hey, we got Xena Queen coming in on YouTube. Says, been missing you playing. Hope you're doing well. I hope you are doing well also. Thanks very much for coming. It's great to see you again. Hope that things are just going awesome for everybody out there. And yeah, we're getting a fun little night going here. Got people on Facebook, YouTube, Trovo of all places. That's super cool. Whole bunch of people coming in on live space. This is getting awesome. Digging it. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. So this is the last song of this album. Then we're going to switch over and play another full album because why not? I mean, it's guitar playing, right? Let's do this. And no, I would say on most of my albums, I like to end on a high note. You know, kind of get the jams pumped up at the end there and get the blood flowing. Went the other direction on this one. And I think this song probably has fewer notes than almost any other song I've got. Actually, the song with probably the fewest notes in it would be a single that I released called A Very Short Song. So called because it's a very short song. I know I'm crazy like that. And that song's only about 3 seconds long. So this one has more notes than that, but this is a very sparse piece. It's called In the Crosshairs. I'm kind of getting back on track. As some people know, I've been doing daily streams for a while, and then I spilled water on my computer. Had to reinstall my entire operating system. It's something I would suggest against now that I've tested it out on everyone else's behalf. Try not to spill water on your computer. It will probably be better for you. So I got that going and got back up and running, did a few streams, and then I just had all kinds of connection issues. They were not related to my water spilling, and so I had to set up a whole bunch of stuff for that, and so I'm really glad to be back to it. But this changeover between albums, if I don't do this just right, it does not go well. Taco Smurfs on LiveSpace says, man, you are badass at guitar. Thank you very much. I have worked very hard at it for many, many years. Okay, the actual changeover had, let's see if my voice gets cut out. No, okay, that part went well. All right. So was I right? Yeah, we are playing. Oh, wait, no, that was not the changeover. Boom, there's a changeover. and my voice is working. And we are playing, yes, Spider, my 62nd album. So let's get that sheet music pulled back up. Okay, that's coming up now. Everything seems to be in order. This program can take a moment to do its thing. And let's see. Now, where do we go with this? Okay, I think we're in good shape. Let me just check a couple things to make sure we got a little of this, a little of that. Boom. Okay. If I've done it right, it'll work. If it doesn't work, I didn't do it right. This album is called Spider. His first song is called Dead Eyes Watching You. feel like that was one of my better uses of chromaticism in the rhythm guitars on that one. A lot of times when I try to use chromatic passing tones, I don't feel like that's my strong suit as a composer. Well, I feel like I did pretty well on that one. Now my student Susan, she is awesome with her use of chromatic passing tones in wherever she uses them as a melody or harmony or whatever. She does that stuff really well. I feel like I don't generally do great with the chromatic stuff. But that one worked out pretty well, I feel like. This next piece is dedicated to my late, lamented, and very, very dead grandfather, Arthur. And he is so very, very dead, and that is just totally metal. This piece is called Frantic Whispers. Just looking at my chat here. I had something pop up on the Trovo chat, some big blue box thing, but I couldn't read it because I was back there playing guitar. Don't know what it said. Oh well. These things happen. We just keep on going in life. And I gotta say, I'm really glad too. You know, I was mentioning earlier when Xena Queen came on YouTube and asked about, said she hadn't seen me for a while. Yeah, I'd been out of streaming for like a month because of these connection issues, and it seems like the connection issues are actually worked out, which is super duper cool. I've successfully streamed, I think, 5 days in a row now without a dropout. It was the last stream I did before I stopped for the connection issues. I think it dropped out like 4 times in one stream, and that was becoming very common. It would just like, go for an hour, drop out, go for 10 minutes, drop out, go for a half hour, drop out, and people don't really stick around for streams that aren't on. Seems crazy, I know. Nonetheless, the load balancing software that I'm using appears to be working very well, and the streams are stable, so that's pretty awesome. Kind of liking that. All right. So this is one of these songs where I always feel like I should say that we're going to slow it down, but this is not really a slow song. It's kind of an upbeat little piece. It just kind of has a lighter little intro to it, and it kind of keeps us going here. So let's do this. This is called Wild Rose. Hey, we got Todd coming in on Live Space. Man, I'm totally digging what's going on with Live Space right now. It makes me so happy because I've been with this beta since the very beginning. I was one of the earliest beta testers. And now we got all these new people coming in and we're actually seeing numbers on the streams and the platform is developing and it's just so cool. And just, hats off to Todd and Steve and the whole crew that's been just getting after it with that thing. They've done such a great job. And so, yeah, and if anyone is coming in here, if you're new on any of these platforms, you haven't seen me before, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Right now we're playing my 62nd album. It is called Spider. This next song is in C Phrygian, for those of you who are playing along. And it is called Until We Collapse. It's one of those songs that sometimes I think it's a little too short. Sometimes I feel like it's just right. I never know what's going on with my own music. As I mentioned earlier, I do have a very short song. It's only 3 seconds long. And it is quite appropriately titled A Very Short Song. My longest song is 52 minutes 25 seconds. I actually have 3 of those. Every 17th album I release is part of the Asemic Writings series. So album 17, 34, and 51. And the principle there, the concept is that each of those albums is just one song, and it's always exactly 52 minutes 25 seconds. I am working on the 4th one in the series right now, which I'm 2 albums away from. And I am planning to, here in the near future, now that my streams are up and running again, planning on doing all 3 of those in a single stream. So 3 songs, 52 minutes, 25 seconds long each. That'll be an interesting stream. Not a lot of interaction with the crowd, but a whole bunch of interaction with the guitar. I have played the first 2 of those live in the past. Number 3, I have never played live, so I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. And I'm thinking that what I'll probably do is play all 3 of those, and I will probably also put in a very short song and play my 3 longest and my 1 shortest for a show. Could be a good time. Not sure exactly when that's going to happen, but it is on the list of Mad Poet type things to do, so we shall see. Good to be rocking. Always good to be rocking. And again, thank you very much for coming in, everybody. This next piece, keeping up the pace here. This is called Crimson Kiss. And we got Obscure Mysticism Cults coming in from YouTube. Haven't seen you in a hot minute or two. Thanks for coming in. Great to see you as per always. Obscure says, cheers, bud. Hope all is well. Ripping it up. Thank you very much. Hope all is well with you also. And we got Lake Biker coming in on Live Space. Cool. I hope you are enjoying the new beta platform. I have been having an absolute blast on Live Space, and it's really cool seeing all the new people coming in with the new round of beta invites that's gone out. So welcome to the platform. I'm one of the earliest beta testers that we had on the system, and it's just really, like I said, really great to see this thing shaping up and people coming in and having a good time with it. So welcome everyone, wherever you're tuning in from. Streaming out to 13 different platforms right now, I think, and got people coming in from all over tonight. This is really great. If you're not familiar with what we do, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Right now, we are playing my 62nd album. It is called Spider. And this next song, we've done this once already, but we got some more people in, so we may as well do it again because, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the second G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. This song is called Where Have You Been? When you go on forums about streaming, some people you find are very, very against multi-streaming. I'm streaming out, like I said, 12 or 13 sites right now, and I don't get why people would be against this, because I got Hagbard Celine now coming in on D Live. Thank you very much for being here. I got people watching on D Live, Facebook, YouTube, Trovo, Nemo, LiveSpace, Twitch, at a minimum, and I got like others that I can't see if there's people there or not, but it's like, why would you not do this? I don't care where people are watching from. I just like people watching. So, thank you very much for being here, everybody. And we're going to talk about this next song. I used to think, and I was wrong. Oh, Lake Biker asks, do I stream a lot? Yeah, I do. These days, particularly, I've been trying to stream every day. And I want to stream every day for a couple of months and just kind of see what happens with viewership and things. I used to stream only once a week. It was on Friday nights, and it was at a fairly bad time, and it didn't work out well. So I'm trying to really just kind of bump up how often I'm streaming. And now that I've got some more stability in my connection, you'll see me here quite a bit. Okay, back to my story. I thought I had come up with the greatest song title of all time, and I announced it as such. I was confident in my wrong. I was confidently incorrect because I didn't know. I didn't know about the better song title that was out there. The best song title, I thought this was the best song title until I heard Ozzie Nelson's song. Ozzie Nelson, this has the greatest song title of all time. He has a song titled, I'm looking for a guy who plays alto and baritone and doubles on a clarinet and wears a size 37 suit. He's got me beat. This is, however, the second greatest song title of all time. On some of my albums, I'll have, for example, my 55th album, The Patron Saint of Murderers, there's a title track, The Patron Saint of Murderers. On this one, this album is called Spider. I don't have a song just called Spider, but this song references the album title. Second greatest song title of all time. This is called A Spider, an Octopus, Two Horses, and Other Things with 8 Legs. Yes, indeed. I'm trying to remember how many songs I got on this album, because I am unsure. It's the kind of thing that makes me wonder, being uncertain. What do we got here? We got 10 songs on this album. All right, so we got 3 songs left of the night. Oh, and these are good ones. You'd think that I would say that about all my songs, but I definitely have some songs that I don't think are that great. Of all of my songs I've put out, I think the Battle Hymn of the Fallen Warrior, which is off of like my 11th or 12th album, that's probably my least favorite of all of them. And, it happens. You do 66 albums, probably going to write a song you don't like in there somewhere. I got a few of them I don't care for particularly. I'll play them if they come up in the albums that are on. A lot of people like the songs of mine that I don't like, and that's great. And some of the people who tell me what their favorite songs are of mine, I'm like, I personally would not have picked that, but it's still awesome. So, whatever people like, that's great to me. But yeah, these last 3, I like all of these. This album overall is a very fun one to play. This kind of period from my 55th to my 64th album, which I did in 8 weeks, 9 weeks. I was just popping out an album a week, and I feel like it's some of my better work right there. Those albums in general. The last 2 that I did, number 65 and 66, I think number 65, I think, is probably my best work of all of my albums overall. But this time frame that we're in here, I will say that's true with the exception of album number 63, which is called Permanent Cognitive Damage Category. I think I did fine work on it. It's just such a departure from what I normally do. It's my shortest album. It's just one song. It's 44 minutes, 22 seconds long. And it's just like this real kind of light ambient stuff with occasional percussion and just kind of these slow, bendy solos over it. I've performed it live 2 or 3 times. It's cool. It's different. It's very different than what you're hearing here tonight. Nonetheless, that time frame, a couple years ago when I did, I guess that would have been about 3.5 years ago now that I did that series of albums. I actually spent 2.5 years on Incomprehensible Isolation, my 65th album, because I was learning so much about production. Some of my regulars know that story very well because I talked about it a lot when it was going on. But I'm currently working on albums 67 and 68. And album 69, I have started writing a little bit of that. Album number 69 will have my first song with vocals on it. It's going to be a spoken word song. It's probably going to be about 20 minutes long. I want it to be pretty long. And I got some weird stuff coming up in now. It's going to be weird. It's going to be rocking, but it's going to be kind of silly. And I might sing a verse in that. Might call it a chorus, whatever. I might sing in that. And if I sing in that, I'm going to be singing about oysters. Just so you know, if that ends up being the first sing that I do on one of my official albums, the first thing I sing about will be oysters. Like I said, it's going to be silly. Because my life does not follow the title of this next song, which is called Unchangeable Destinations. Now I mentioned on the, I think it was the second to last song on the last album I played, that that was in E flat minor, and I talked about how it had the one open string, which would normally be a B string, but now we technically have to call it a C flat string. Yada yada, music theory geek, totally. This song is in B flat minor. I think it's technically in F Phrygian, same key signature, same as D flat major. And the thing about B flat minor on a standard tuned guitar is, if you use any of the open strings, you're out of key. So it would be considered a very challenging key to play on guitar, because so often we kind of can use those open strings as a crutch, kind of. So I'm like kicking my own crutches out from underneath me and saying, okay, do this anyway, baby. Here you go. And you might as well have something like that going on if you're going to have a song called The Theory and Practice of Mayhem. Obscure Mysticism Cult from YouTube says strong song title. I agree. That one is a very solid. Yeah, and I feel like the music kind of matches on that one. I was talking about that last night when I played After Hours in the Blackwood Mortuary, where on that song I feel like I just nailed the feel of the title with the music I played. It's like when I play that song, I feel like I am trapped after hours in the Blackwood Mortuary, and it's awesome. and I'm going to say that hopefully, that the risk of being a little egotistical, this next one, this one matches up pretty well too. So this is the last song of the evening. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming. This has been a really awesome stream. For my new followers on the various platforms, I've seen some come up on Trovo and DLive, and new followers, new viewers out there. I definitely got some new people coming in here on Live Space, and I had some new people coming in on Trovo. Very cool. To my old friends that I haven't seen in a while, Xena and Obscure, great to see you guys again. So everyone out there, thank you very much. In case you missed it, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. I got one song left of the show tonight. This is called Screaming in Your Sleep. All right, everybody, thank you again so much. This has been a really, really fun stream. Again, thank you, new followers, new viewers. Had a great time. I hope you enjoyed the music. Apologies to the early viewers for there being no sound during the first song. We know why that was now. It's because I'm a dork. So that's awesome. Fortunately, it was a very easy fix because I know how to undorkify myself when necessary. So, again, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you for being here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a stream tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sunday, is my busiest day of teaching. So I'm not sure with my current student lineup if I'll be able to fit a stream in. We'll try. We'll see. I'm just not going to make any promises. Monday will probably be an earlier stream. And yeah, and we'll just kind of see where things go. I am planning to do as close as possible to daily streaming for the foreseeable future. Obscure Mysticism Cults is fire as always. Have a good night. Catch you next time. Excellent. Looking forward to seeing you again. And that goes for everybody out there. Taco Smurfs, Lake Biker, Todd, Steve, Xena, Obscure, Kendall Lover 360, Hegbard, Celine, everyone else who was watching. Thank you. Until next time, I will see